So in the past 3 years, I've been completely enslaved into building this house that's around me. It's been an absolute miserable experience. I've had to give up pretty much all my interests and hobbies, including cars and pretty much everything else, and live like a hermit and just put my head down and just work and build. But I did recently finally finish the garage. That's one of the last pieces of the house that I was able to finish. So I want to show you guys what that looks like today. And this is my first step into getting back, hopefully, into living a more normal life and doing things I used to like to do, which includes, of course, cars. I want to get back into a new project, and I do have something to show you guys on that very, very soon. I'm finally getting back into cars. It's been way too long, and I have something pretty special, I think, to show you, in addition to the Humvee that I think I already made a video about. By the way, on the Humvee, I don't know where the hell that thing is. It's been 6 months. I did make a video on the Humvee. It got towed away to Eugene, Oregon, to this fabricator's shop that's in the video, to do a manual swap, and that was 6 months ago almost. And I still don't have it back. So I'll leave that at that. But anyway, that's kind of like the same scenario that I dealt with this house. Just things take longer than it should, or you got to do it yourself. So anyway, not to get too off topic with this video, let's go ahead and go to the garage and let me give you guys a walk around of what I've been working on in there. Oh, okay, it's freaking cold. I need a jacket. Okay, so yeah, welcome to my new house and welcome to my new garage. What's interesting about this garage build is, I guess, technically, since this was a complete new construction, everything about it is new. It wasn't like, you know, just put some cabinets in. I had to do the whole thing, put the concrete floor in, build the walls, obviously, pick the lights out, pick the beams, everything, the doors, the garage door openers, the whole thing. So it's a little bit unique in that respect, which is kind of cool. So this is my driveway plaza area. And you can see that there's this huge retaining wall here. This thing's like 13, 14 feet tall here at this point, because there's a massive slope behind it that we had to kind of cut in when we sided the house. But yeah, this is the front. And the cool thing about this house is I have everything automated on my phone. So if I just go into my phone app here, so I can check out the camera system here in the front. That's the doorbell. My blinds are also here. My lights are all here. So if I scroll down, there's also the thermostat and some locks. If I scroll down to this one, I can turn on these LED lights for the garage. And these are all routed in to the cedar. Very clean detail. Ignore all the spider webs. Winter definitely took its toll here. But yeah, I definitely need to give this house a good cleaning, hopefully in the spring. And things aren't looking so good here either. But this is my carport / the front entrance to the house. Car goes here. People go through here. That's the front door, obviously. This thing was super custom. Took a long time to get done. This whole entire, steel system here had to be custom made. And then this door had to be fitted with these concealed hinges, and that goes into the atrium, which goes into the second front door, and then obviously into the house. But anyway, this video is not about the house. This video is about the garage. So let's get back into it. Starting off with, I guess, the doors. I had to do 2 single doors. Initially in the plans when we were architecting this thing, I actually wanted one big double door, but there is a beam that goes here, a cross beam that goes across this top. And the load spans of that required a brace, a giant beam here in the post, or I guess a post in the middle. And I didn't want to mess with all that like too late in the construction because we already kind of got the foundation poured and everything. So we basically reverted back into these double singles, which is nice because I can kind of keep things isolated. I can just open one side and not the other, vice versa, kind of like how I'm doing right now. And then the doors themselves, they are all insulated and they're also clad with the same 1x4 fine line cedar siding that I have across the whole house. And this is a ebony stain. We actually had to stain this thing like 3 times to get it this dark and black. But yeah, the doors are all fitted with the same siding. And then to operate the doors, one of my favorite things is I went with double or dual LiftMaster wall-mounted operators. And these things are super quiet compared to like the stuff that goes over the head or over the top. And they're also really quick. And you can control it through your app. I can open this thing up from anywhere just through, Wi-Fi. But yeah, you can see I have another operator over there as well. It's all wall-mounted, very sleek. You got nothing hanging over the top here on the ceiling. Nothing can, drop down onto your car or anything like that. So it's a really nice compact system, highly recommended. And then another star of the show here in the garage is this Kranzle pressure washing system. Very stoked on how this all came out. It was actually a lot of work to get it all fitted like this. It wasn't quite as easy as I thought it'd be. So it's a little bit dirty right now, so excuse that. I'm gonna have to clean that later. So obviously when I built the house, in the elevation details, I called for these bibs. So this bib here obviously feeds the pressure washer, and then that one down there so you can put a bucket and fill it. I also had to put a electrical outlet right here, specifically so I can put the shelf in this exact arrangement. That's one of the beauties of being able to build a house from scratch, is you can kind of dial in these little details as you're building it. But yeah, you can see kind of how this whole system works. This thing is a water line, feeds it from that bib. If you want to turn it on, just simply turn on this hose bib, gets the water in through here. You flip a switch on the back side, and then you're good. And you just basically undo this little lock mechanism, roll out the hose, pull it out into the plaza or wherever you're going to wash your car right here, and start spraying it. And that's as easy as it gets. And also the electrical outlet plug that you see here, you can see how kind of tidy that all is. There is no extra length because I actually went into the unit itself and shortened it and then just redid the spade connectors and all that stuff. But yeah, that is my pressure washing system. Also got the Mosmatic wand holder, very beefy. I hit the studs, of course, when I mounted this thing. And then you got the Mosmatic Obsessed Garage, whatever wand that articulates and rotates, pretty slick. And then before I move too far into this garage, I do want to show you guys the floor. So this is a 3-coating system that I painted myself over the summer. It freaking sucked to do. I hated doing this floor. I never want to paint a garage floor ever again. It's a lot of work. For every single coat that I did, I had to completely mask off the edges, mask around the rails or the tracks or whatever, and just do that 3 times. And you're also in a time crunch because I did this myself. And during the summer it was super hot, so the paint like cured too quickly, and you had to like really rush yourself and get it done, and also paint it smoothly. Not fun, very difficult. And also the stupid spiked shoes that you have to wear when when you're walking on the painted floor, the little spikes came off into the floor when I was painting it. So I had to go pick it up, rush back, re-roll over the spots that the spikes came off. It was a nightmare. And also to do this properly, before you put the very first primer coat on, which was epoxy, it's actually epoxy, then epoxy again. And then the last coat on top, which you see here obviously, is polyaspartic, because polyaspartic is water resistant and it's also UV resistant, so it will not yellow to the sun. So before I put the first coat on, I actually hired somebody to come out here with a diamond grinder and completely sand down this garage. This is already a brand new concrete system that just got poured because the house just got built, but we still nonetheless had to sand it down. Even though the concrete was super clean, we still had to put some grit and texture into it so the paint can actually bite into it. So I had that done first, and I think that's going to make a big difference. Hopefully, we'll see. So far, so good. Okay, now moving on, let's go ahead and talk about, I think, the star of the show here, which is this cabinet system. I did not go over the top like, I guess, like Sonic cabinets or some German crazy European cabinet system that's like $20,000 or something. This is just a New Age Pro 8-piece system. And honestly, it's great. The thing's sturdy. It's a nice black powder coated finish. It's all I could really need for a home garage, honestly. I'm not like a professional mechanic shop or anything like that, so I don't need anything over the top or too crazy. I really think this does the job, and it looks good, came together well. It was a pain in the ass to install, though, I'm not gonna lie, because as you can see, maybe on the bottom here, I completely wall mounted this entire system. I do not have any legs or feet holding it up. So it's completely on these cleats that mount across the top of all of these units. And there's like probably close to like 100 different fasteners holding this thing on right now. Like there's fasteners that hold them together. There's fasteners that I put into the wall. And that was a long process. And also if I show you this first one here, something else that I had to do when installing these cabinets is there are a bunch of electrical outlets along the back side. There's one here. There's one more in this middle cabinet over there. And there's one more over there. So I had to carefully measure out exactly where the position of the outlets are on the back side of these cabinets and then cut them with a Dremel and then get the opening just right when we hang it so then they can be covered up with these stainless steel outlet covers. But yeah, anyway, this big locker cabinet on the left-hand side is just, again, power tools and other miscellaneous things. You can see I have my Hakko soldering iron system here. Got a Random Orbital back there, heat gun, some masks for painting whatever other junk. I got my Esco jack stands in here. I got my Milwaukee leaf blower. I use that to actually dry off cars, I think, after I use the Kranzlet system. I think that pairs out with that really well. And obviously I use it for like, you know, actual leaf blowing stuff too. Fire hydrant or fire extinguisher, gotta have that. So yeah, that is the left locker. You can see all these doors are also soft close. Pretty cool touch. This is my, forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, Yost vise. This is 750-DI for ductile iron. Pretty beefy vise system. You can see there are 2 sets of jaws here. And it's a very smooth mechanism too, which I love. But yeah, this thing is pretty beefy for sure. And I mounted it with these nice grade 8 bolts directly in the center of this cabinet here in the span. So kind of the left side is for vise stuff and the right side here is just for other whatever tabletop, worktop type things you got to do. And you can also see from the jaws here, I have these nice magnetic aluminum rubberized jaw grips just to protect whatever surfaces you may be clamping in here if you need to. So yeah, that is the vise. Cabinets up here on the top are just for miscellaneous like storage things. I think I have like a bunch of braided wiring connectors and electrical things here. This one, I don't even know what I have. I got other just junk. I got some fire hose protecting things, some T-bolt clamps, junk like that. And this one on the left-hand side, I got more junk. I think I got gloves, yeah, riv nut kit, things like that, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, junk on the top, business on the bottom. Like this is the main show right here, obviously, the tool cabinet. And yeah, I got the Wera screwdrivers over here, some snap-on ones as well. Just a random assortment of things. Wera hex keys, metric and standard. I got the Milwaukee Fastback box cutter. Highly recommend these. Very good stuff. And yeah, everything's on soft close, of course. Down here, I got my gear wrench. I pretty much went to gear wrench for most of my sockets and ratchets. Gear wrench, what you call it, 90-tooth ratchet. Really nice. Similarly, I got some snap-on stuff here, which is also got that fine tooth actuation. Pretty good stuff too. Honestly, can't really tell which one I like more, but both are good. Down here, I have my wrenches. Pretty standard stuff. And then I have a bunch of pliers and junk like that. And then some more miscellaneous tools and things, clamps. This is for an exhaust if you want to flare your exhaust. In this cabinet down here, I have miscellaneous overflow sockets, impacts, things like that. Down here, this isn't exactly the best use of space because there's all this height, but you know, got my hammers, got my torque wrench. There's another one coming. I'm still missing my 1/2-inch torque wrench. That's a SATA electrical torque wrench. I just got this yesterday. Have not had a chance to try it out, but looks pretty good. This one here, I have all of my adhesives and things like that. And then let's see, down here is a cool pull-out fastener / nuts, whatever assortment caddy, which is pretty nice, cool detail. And then this one is a trash can. And yeah, the beauty of having this thing completely off the floor is you can shove a lot of things down here that don't normally fit, like for example, tubing or this creeper, whatever. And then this last cabinet on the right-hand side, just all of my, what you call it, paint, detailing products, more cleaning products, and things like that. So I'm definitely low on microfiber towels. I need to go get that. And also, when I built the house, I had this sink put in as well. Gotta have a sink in your garage. And this commercial kitchen looking like faucet system, I actually had this in my closet for like 6 years. I've just been storing, trying to find the right place to install it. And obviously this was the best fit for me. Pretty cool faucet. You can also spray it with this lever. But yeah, really handy having a nice little stainless steel sink in your garage. You can see I have these 240 volt outlets. I have 3 of them, 2 in the garage and 1 in the carport, just for all future EV charging needs. And some parts over here are for my future project car, which I will announce very shortly, but I guess just from looking at the parts, you can kind of get an idea of what it may be. And then this shelf I just installed the other weekend, came out really cool. It fit this middle space pretty much perfectly. Just a parts shelf, really keeps things off the floor. Also a black powder coat to kind of match the cabinets over here. And of course, you gotta have the Harbor Freight Daytona floor jack. But yeah, I'm not really sure what to do with this middle section of the garage. I kind of want to clear up this area. Obviously, the paint I'm going to put in the basement and get it out of here once I'm kind of done with some stuff in the house. But ideally, I don't want to have all the stuff here in the middle. I want to be able to kind of move back and forth between the two bays very easily. But for now, I think this is totally fine for some storage. And obviously, some car parking over here. But yeah, that is a walkthrough of the garage. Oh, one more thing is these lights are all prime LEDs. You can get them from Obsessed Garage just like you can with the Cranslet system. But I actually kind of, snooped around, found out what exactly the brands were for these lights and just bought them direct, whatever. I mean, don't kill me. Save some money that way. So, but they're good. They're just LED, very bright. I have obviously 6 of them. And this is the brightest garage I've ever had in my life. All of my previous, I guess, work areas were so dim compared to this. And let me tell you, having good lighting in your garage when you're working on a car, plus a reflective white surface like this and white walls, it really helps illuminate things and see what you're working on. Not that I've really worked on cars yet here, but I'm really excited to finally do that. I think I have everything in place. All the chess pieces are now in place to put a project car right here and get to work. And that is what I'm looking forward to doing next. And of course, you gotta have the HKS doormat in your garage to really top things off. But anyway, that concludes this video. Thank you all for watching this quick walkthrough of this garage. I'm really stoked on how it came out. This was a lot of work to get to this state. And again, it was one of the last pieces of the house to finally come together. I probably have over 100 hours of man hours in this garage alone myself, just to get it to where you guys see it now. But yeah, now that the house is finally coming to an end, my garage is now in place. I have a project car on hand. I got some more free time. I got a camera. There really is no excuse for me to not start uploading again. So that is really what I'm going to try and focus on doing. So please stay tuned. But as soon as I get my car back, I will be doing a video and a reveal on what that is. So big project. That thing ended up being way bigger of a project than I thought it would be, but that's kind of how it goes. But also nonetheless, pretty excited to get back into something cool again. So anyway, thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.